The NASCAR Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Shady Rays. SGPN is teaming up with Shady Rays for Shady May. Get 50% off your Shady Rays using promo code SGPN, and then go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady for your chance to win $500. We're also brought to you by our Kentucky Derby contest. The winner gets a $100 SGPN gift card exclusively on the SGPN app.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'll wreck my mom to win a championship. I'll wreck your mom to win a championship.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
It refrains me from not beating the out of you right now because you asked me stupid questions. But since I'm on probation, I suppose that's improper to say as well. If you could talk about racing things, we could talk about racing things.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Closing out the week strong, it is the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez. It is Friday. Well, for us, it's Friday. We are very happy to be closing out this week for the Kansas Speedway, of which we have said over and over again that Cody will be in attendance. Cody is already out the door. I had to wrangle him back in for this episode. I said, no, Cody, you can't leave yet. We have to put this show in the books, and then you can go. So Cody's going to try to make this quick so he can leave to get to Kansas City before all the festivities begin.
That's right. I'm going to go sleep in my truck in my driveway tonight and be ready to go so I can wake up and just hit the road tomorrow.
I don't blame you.
But,
I don't blame you if you did.
No, I'm so excited. Tomorrow already. It's almost here. Man, I grew up going to the racetracks every weekend. And I've been to Kansas Speedway more times than I could even count. So excited to go back for another racing weekend. Get the full thing again this year. Like I talked about before, I only made it to the Cup race last year. Had some other stuff going on, but get the full thing this year with ARCA. Man, we used to go to so many ARCA races when I was a kid. Always loved that series so much. And then, Truck Series, Cup Series, get some practice, some qualifying. I'm pumped, Rod. I'm so excited to be at the track.
I'm excited for you, and I'm excited to be keeping up with you on what we said on our Twitter at NASCAR Gambling.
Yep.
But more than anything, I'm waiting for whatever driver or anybody you can find to call in and do a little FaceTime meeting with me. I'm waiting for that, Cody.
I'll see what I can do for you, Rod.
All I'm saying
send me your wish list. I'll see who I can get.
Michael Jordan. I want Michael Jordan.
I'm sure you just walk right up to him. I'm sure I'm sure he doesn't have a bunch of security guards. And actually, I've seen when he was at Talladega.
Yeah,
he was when I saw when he was at Talladega. They had the black Tahoes like rolled up onto pit road, and he got out, jumped on the pit box. Like he don't even have to walk through the garage. He gets the VIP treatment.
Hey, in Sonoma, I walked right in stride with him. I was looking right.
Oh.
Well, literally, I had to look up.
Wow, yeah. He's
right
twice your size, but
I grabbed a nearby ladder so I could at the very least look him in the eye. But no, it was insane. And what sucks is that was in the middle of COVID protocol, and so I was I saw him right, and then immediately as I was going to take a picture, he had to put his mask on, and I was like, how are you gonna believe me?
Yes. Yeah, just to be in the presence of greatness like that would make my weekend. I don't know that he'll be in Kansas, but his cars won both races there last year. So if he wants to be at a victory, you might want to show up this weekend, Michael. So who knows? Maybe I'll be hanging out with Michael Jordan this weekend.
Hey, listen, all I'm saying is that, if you're there and you throw the phone up, all he has to say is, "Hi, Rod, love the show." And
yeah, oh yeah,
and
I
I
think we
retire.
probably get that. Yeah, there you
I
go.
retire. I do
That'd be the greatest day of my life, and yeah, it's all downhill from there.
We would turn the show over to two other people who haven't reached the height of their
somebody else can take it at that point. But I don't know that that'll happen. But we can dream, right?
We can dream. All right. Well, for today's episode, we're going to keep it rather loose. We want everybody to just kind of go into this weekend feeling good. Obviously, all three series are not in contention this week, so it kind of does leave us with this open one. But what we'll do is we will update for you the Hamlinmania bracket contest that we've got going on. Remember, those of you who entered, and thank you to those of you. We never really did get a shot to actually thank you thoroughly for entering this contest. This surpassed our expectations as far as how many entries we were going to get, as far as just the participation level. The smart, man, we got some bright people out there entering these contests. There's pretty good scores going. Cody and I'm not anywhere near it yet. Wait till I get another round in, but I had a couple of bad upsets that took me right out of it. So kudos to you guys who are still alive and kicking in this bracket and scoring up some points, man. It's been impressive to watch.
It has, yeah. Unfortunately for me, I know one of my finals guys is out with Kyle Busch. He lost already. So that's gonna hurt me as we go down the road.
I think there's
I think we had 134 entries, I believe, in this contest. So, damn, yeah, that's more than we were expecting. But love it. We're so glad everybody joined, and it's been a fun time so far.
Yeah, and I love seeing those of you who have actually been tweeting out your brackets as they were going, so we can all sort of take in the utter just disappointment of some of it. We know a lot of people's brackets got busted almost instantaneously just by a couple of bad luck goes. But like Cody said, it's been a blast. We've had some fun putting that out. And listen, at the end of the day, somebody's going to win themselves that Hamlin diecast and a SGPN merch. And it's going to be a lot of fun handing that out. So can't wait for that. Cody, we got to step away real quick. And when we come back, we'll continue to talk about the Hamlinmania bracket. Talk about who's leading. Talk about how smart you all are.
Yes.
Let's tell you about Shady Rays first. Shady Rays is teaming up with SGPN for Shady May. Not only do you get an amazing 50% off, but you also get a chance to win $500. Shady Rays has you covered from the sun to the slopes with premium polarized shades, customizable snow goggles, and so much more. Shady Rays have durable frames and extremely clear optics for all your outdoor adventures, and that's not all. Shady Rays has the most insane protection in all of eyewear. And I mean it when I say this, because every single pair of sunglasses that they sell is backed by lost and broken replacements. What does that mean? That means that the very second that you buy your Shady Rays glasses, if they break, if you lose them, if whatever happens, if a tsunami comes, if a tornado comes and rips them right out of your hand, Shady Rays will replace those for you. And the best thing of all, you don't even have to explain it. You don't have to tell them that your dog ate your sunglasses. They don't care. They're just going to replace them for you absolutely free. Can't even tell you how clutch that comes in my world. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they got your back long after you purchase them. Plus, if you don't like them, that's fine. Exchange them for a new pair or return them absolutely free within the first 30 days. No risk when you shop with Shady Rays. Their team always has your back. And right now, go to shadyrays.com. Use the code SGPN for 50% off of 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Then take that receipt to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady for your chance to win the $500 Shady May contest. We should probably have given away some Shady Mays for some Shady Rays for the Hamlin bracket contest.
Now we're gonna have to repeat the contest with the Xfinity Series next, and maybe throw some Shady Rays in there. See?
Ooh, look at you. Okay. Well, I mean, listen, we said that it needed to start later in the season anyway. So just before let's count 10. What is it? 10 races? 5 races? How many? 5 races, right?
Yeah, 5 races.
5. I told you guys, math is not my strong suit. 5 races before the championship. So we'll do it the week before the championship starts. Maybe we'll do that and give away some Shady Rays.
Yeah, that's perfect. I like that idea. That's we'll have to run that by the bosses, but I think as successful as this contest has been, that one might be just fine.
I think it will be too. So, all right. Well, listen, we do want to give a quick shout out to our leaders. I know Cody has gone through and made up this leaderboard, man.
It's sorry that's been Yeah, it's been interesting so far.
Hey,
to get
we're
those
learning
things,
too, though, right?
Yeah, true. First time, first time running a pool, especially of this size. So took a few minutes, but do have so one person standing out at the top, leading all by themselves. Congratulations, Reese. You're the first round leader, at least. So if you had money on yourself for first round leader, like they do in golf, stage 1 winner, I guess you could say. You took the top spot for that. And then Rod, it is a 14-way tie for second place.
Holy cow.
So Reese is leading with 130 points. Again, you get 10 points for each correct pick in the first round, and then it just doubles each round. So 20 points for each correct pick next round, so on and so forth. And so Reese has 130, and then all these second place people have 120. So shout out to all of you: Joe, Josh, Judy, Matthew, Jesse, Elijah, Mitchell, Allen, Bryce, Steven, Kelly, Erica, James, and Riley, all tied for second place. And we have that board is posted over on NASCAR at NASCAR Gambling on Twitter. If you want to know where you are in the standings, you can DM us on Twitter or hit us up. I just need either your name or your email, and I can point you out on the rest of the leaderboard. They're working on the site to get it fixed, so there's an actual leaderboard so we can post the whole thing. Until then, it's going to be this way because sorting through 134 entries that are in no way, shape, or form in order isn't always the easiest thing to do.
And kudos to the 109 of you that sit on top of where I stand at 110.
Well, you're technically, yes, you're tied. Well, wait a minute. What?
I have 90 points.
90
I don't
points,
have 120. Or I don't have 110. I have
Yes.
90 points.
90 points. You're tied for 92nd. So
Yes.
There's a few people behind you. I have 110, which is tied for 17th. So, I mean, really, you're only 20 points behind me. That's only 2 picks. That's only 1 pick in the next round. So even if you're that far back or you don't have that good of a score, like the main thing, like the March Madness bracket or anything, like you need to have your guys intact towards the end of things. So that's going to be the most important because obviously, it's 10 points this round, 20, 40, 60, or no, I didn't do that right.
Math is not Cody's strong suit
No,
either.
especially on a Friday. I'm just ready to get to the racetrack, okay?
This is true. This is true.
10, 20, 40, 80, and then I think it's 160 for the championship pick. So, yeah, if you got to have guys later on. So I know that me not having Kyle Busch already is going to hurt me. I'm sure there's a lot of people that might have got a bunch of these picks right early, but had Kyle Larson moving on. That was another big upset. Joey Logano. So, I mean, you could have got every pick right, but if you had Joey Logano winning the championship and he's out, down the road, that's where it's going to hurt you more. So I don't think anybody is completely out of the contest yet, unless like your entire Final Four is eliminated already, then maybe. But it's going to be a lot of fun these next 4 races. Again, North Wilkesboro in a couple weeks won't count, but the next 4 regular season races as we whittle this down and see who wins the first annual Hamlinmania.
Can you see who ended up picking Todd Gilliland over Joey Logano? Is there? Can you?
I did myself.
No, oh, you did.
I know that. I did. Yes. There's not. Again, learning experiences. It would be nice if I could see like how many people actually picked them, but it doesn't break down that easily. I could go in and look at every single person's individual bracket, but that would take me a few minutes.
Well, that's okay. Because listen, all I know is that we're going to go over the next round here after the second break of it. But I'll tell you before we even get going is that I have an entire second round that's out with Chase Elliott and Daniel Suarez. That whole round is gone. Kyle Larson and Ricky Stenhouse, that is all gone. So like, yeah, I'm out on at least one whole side of this bracket, except that I've got Denny Hamlin moving on and Kyle Busch moving on to the semifinals. So yeah, I'm okay there, but like, yeah, it doesn't matter who wins that Chase Elliott bracket or the Kyle Larson bracket. I'm out of both of those.
Yeah, that I'm telling you, that part of it is what really hurts it is if you don't have the guys that have moved on farther and farther in. I'm having issues logging in, but I'm trying to find my bracket. I'll get there eventually.
Well, so listen, Matthew Jones at Fitted Jones had tweeted up earlier. He said he got chastained today. Looks like he also is out of that Kyle Larson bracket. He is also out of that Chase Elliott bracket. But yeah,
I mean, those are probably, I would guess, two of the more popular picks to be bounced in the first round. That is going to hurt some people.
And he's out of the Kyle Busch bracket for sure. So yeah, I mean, you want to talk about just I hope Denny Hamlin carries it through, because if he doesn't, then I am toast completely. That is for sure. So yeah, once again, thank you to all you folks who have been out there tweeting out your brackets. Like I said, we've enjoyed following along with you guys as well. Yeah, Cody, I've got your bracket right there too. That was before the carnage. So a lot of rough days, everybody out there.
Yeah.
But we're hoping for better days in this track. Obviously, hopefully the madness does not continue, because I don't know that I could take another week of just utter craziness going on.
Yeah, well, I think after the break, Rod, we could probably break down each of these matchups. And I mean, again, we're not getting, there's no way you're not picking any new matchups. Of course, your bracket is already set, but we can still break down each matchup and see which way we think it goes. We could probably each make our picks and then see who gets more of them right.
Re-rack them. I like that. Let's re-rack them.
Do it.
Okay, so get out your pen and paper during the break and start writing down.
I've got all kinds of papers here.
I'm telling you right now,
too many papers. That's the problem.
Yeah. Hey, and listen, if you guys listen out there want to re-rack yours too, man, we'd love to follow along with this as well. I mean, obviously it's not good for the contest anymore, but if you just want to have some fun writing out the rest of this bracket to see if you can't pick some winners, that might be.
And I mean, too, I'll throw it out there. Dirty Mo Media, they liked our idea so much they copied it. They made their own bracket challenge. I know Denny Hamlin came up with the idea first. It was a joke. Don't get your panties in a bunch. But no, they are doing it. They're starting theirs this week, so it'll be totally different matchups because the points obviously are a little bit different. Chastain has moved up to the 1 seed. I know Elliott slid up a few spots. So make sure you go over to their website. They're giving out some prizes as well. We'll take credit for having the same thing first, but I guess it was their idea, so they're allowed to do one too.
That's fine. But yeah, just and you could download theirs and follow along as well. It'd be a little bit more fun. So yeah, let's do that when we come back from the break. So step away and tell you about Underdog Fantasy. We're brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Best Ball Mania 4 is here, and Underdog Fantasy is giving away $15 million in prizes, plus plenty of ways to win with NBA, NHL, and MLB with all of their player prop parlays. Head over to UnderdogFantasy.com right now. Use the promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. That's UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. It's Kentucky Derby week, and the notorious OTB, brought to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, is here for all your Triple Crown bets. Plus, leave a review for the show wherever you get your podcast between now and the Belmont Stakes on Saturday, June 10th. You'll be entered into a drawing to win a canvas print of the Wolves' one-of-a-kind Fallen Bob painting. It's post time. Of course, we've also got a bonus contest exclusively on the SGPN app where the winner gets a $100 SGPN gift card. All right, so in our contest, of course, we are one round down, which means we're in the let's see, what is it? Quarter, whatever, the round of 16.
Yes, we're just gonna go with that. The round of 16.
The round of 16. Jesus Christ, kids. Yes, we're in the round of 16, and obviously that means that where everybody else starts, if they're starting now, then
it's all these brackets are going to be different, which is cool. I mean, everybody's got their own unique contest. It's great. We love it. They're starting theirs a week later, so they'll get completely different results than we get. It's going to be different matchups. Things are totally different. But we are on to our round of 16, which means we have 8 matchups. So we'll go through them each, make our picks, and see who moves on.
I love it. All right. Well, I'm just going to start right here at the top left, where you always start reading, where it is Christopher Bell, right? Moving on because he beat Noah Gragson, which I was going to say that's a no-brainer, but what we saw last week, there was no such thing as a no-brainer. But Christopher Bell did move on. And then another CB, Chris Buescher, moves on over Austin Cindric. So it's Christopher Bell over Chris Buescher. This one's interesting because both of us on the DFS episode just yesterday talked pretty highly of one Chris Buescher.
We did talk very highly of Chris Buescher. Boy, yeah, this is actually. I think this. I mean, on the surface, right? Bell, right? Because he's in the better car. Toyota's been good here. We know that. But Buescher is going to put up a good day. I'm expecting a solid top 10, top 13 run from him. Which way are you leaning on this, Rod?
I think I have to go with Christopher Bell, but I don't feel good about it because I'm with you. I chose Chris Buescher. We both were high on Chris Buescher in it, but I think you're right. I think it's like a top 10 day. I think top 10, maybe 10th or 9th is Buescher's ceiling, where Bell's ceiling is always top 5.
Yeah,
right?
well, Bell's ceiling is he can win the race. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So it's like, do you take the better floor? And what did Dover teach us? Right? I mean, the Dover. I think Dover.
What did Dover teach us?
Well, I think sometimes you have to take the floor. Sometimes you have to take the basement as far as what you're going to get out of it. And like I said, I feel like Bell.
Yeah, and I mean, you look back at Bell, like 6th place last week. He was a fast car. He was kind of up in the mix the whole time, and he even had a pit problem early on. I think they had dropped a lug nut rather. And had to, grab another one to get the tire on. So issues early, still ends up with a solid 6th place finish. You go back to the other 2 comp tracks, 5th at Las Vegas. Auto Club 32nd, but he started on the pole in that one, and that was I guess that was because the metric, but he got caught up in that huge wreck on the restart. That's why he finished at 32nd. So hard to measure exactly that. He was a points leader until this past weekend, so he's been getting good, solid results most weeks. Tough to pick against Chris Bell. I think I really wanted to pick Chris Buescher because I like rooting for chaos in brackets, but I think we're both going to have to go with the Chris Bell side of things.
Well, look at his last 3 finishes in Kansas: 8th, 5th, 3rd. He's been getting steadily better. He's led 49 laps in that span as well. So, I mean, it's watch, all hell's going to break loose, and it's going to be the lesser CB over the greater CB. And
could have another big upset right here and screw up some more people's brackets. We'll see.
I got CB versus CB, and I got CB winning.
There you
How's
go.
That?
I like it.
Let's move on to the next matchup. It is the number 48 car. This is Josh Berry again in the 48 car, but remember, we did a lot for the fact that if the 48 car changes, obviously you're picking the car, not the driver. That way it doesn't screw you up too much. But I had Eric Jones moving on. Eric Jones did not move on. It is Ryan Blaney.
Same here.
This one's a tough one too, because Blaney popped his head out and did well, which means he may do it again. But we also know that Ryan Blaney's burned us one too many times. Although, go back, listen to the betting episode, you will find that Cody is
Blaney's
a little
corner. We dusted it off, brought it back out of retirement.
Sure did.
Yeah. I also had Eric Jones winning the initial matchup, but I can't help myself. I've got to go with Ryan Blaney as well. So, yeah. Oh man.
I love this. If you're watching on YouTube, you have seen like the moment of. But that's what I'm saying. Like these brackets, we thought they was.
I mean, because again, Barry's another guy we've talked about on the betting episode, right? And we think he's going to get a nice, solid finish. We think he's going to have a good day. He's been surprising. They're willing to gamble. He's got the 2nd place finish at Richmond. I still think it's Ryan Blaney, though. I think that Ryan Blaney can win this race just by winning. I mean, Barry could win it technically, but I don't think he's going to run up there and win it. So give me Ryan Blaney. Even if he doesn't win, he's going to finish 2nd like he likes to all the time. So I think I got to go with the Blaney side of things.
Yeah, I'm probably going to do the same as you in this. It's a little boring for that, but I don't know. No, you know what? No, give me the 48 car. I don't care. Look, I know Blaney finished 12th and 9th here last year, but before that, 37th, 21st, 7th, 20th, 21st, 32nd. This is not his favorite track. So
You're going with the 48?
This is my chaos. Give me the 48.
All right. Hey, we got to pick some different ones, so I like it.
Yeah.
We only got 8 to choose from, so.
Give me the number C car. That's what I want. I'll take the 48. All right, let's move down to the next one. It is Kevin Harvick versus William Byron. We talked about it on the betting show too, as far as how Kevin Harvick, we used to say, auto bet the guy to lock him into top 10. He hasn't shown us that in the last 3 races, and it's very, very, I don't know. I mean, this is his last season, right? This is it. This is the farewell season. You want to see him go out well. But unfortunately, the last 3 races, it almost looks as if there's this thing in the military, okay, where when you're about to ETS, when you're about to separate from the military. You have that circled on your calendar. You know exactly how many days you have left, right? And you start out that last year, and you're like, oh, man, this is exciting. But then about a couple months into that, you see the finish line, and you go, my heart's not in this anymore, right? And I'm not saying that Kevin Harvick is not putting his whole heart into this, but there's a certain point as a human being where you know the end is near, and that what you would do to just be, the best you can be kind of shifts every single day. It's kind of like, why am I putting this much effort into something that, like, next year I'm not going to be doing? So
I do love the example. The last 90 days of my time in the service, nobody knew where I was at any point in time. And it's because I was hiding from everyone because I could. Because what are they going to do? Fire me, right?
That's what I'm saying. You push hard, right? You push hard, but then
I don't think Kevin's at that point.
No, but
I mean, we talked about him on the DFS show yesterday, and I think that I am scared of him going into this weekend because of the lack of Stewart-Haas speed we saw last week. That's very, very concerning. Now, if anybody can beat that, right, he's always the exception. It could be Kevin Harvick. He could win this race. He could win this race. I don't see any path for any other SHR car to win this race, but Kevin he's always going to be in the conversation. Next week, when we go to Darlington, I will be all aboard the Kevin Harvick train. He likely is going to be one of my winners. He's going to be a top 10. He's going to be every way I can bet on Kevin Harvick. I'll be betting on him. But this weekend, despite he's my winner in my brackets. I hope he wins this matchup against William Byron, but I can't do it, Rod. Got to go with Willie B. Got to go with Willie B. I tried fading him last week. That was a bad decision. He's shown he's got speed. There were points in that race where it looked like he was going to be the first guy to 3 wins this season, and I don't think you can fade him anymore. So give me William Byron to win this matchup.
Okay, well, fine. After I just got done making the case against Kevin Harvick, give me Kevin Harvick. I think he loads it up. I think this is the one where he goes, because every once in a while you find that motivation again. You're like, oh, okay, this may be that week where he finds the motivation. I mean, there's only a couple more weeks till the All-Star race, right? You could probably get up for a couple more races until you're going to get sort of a week off. He's still going to be racing, but it's not a points race. He's going to be racing his old 29 car. Like, I don't know. He's had 3 bad finishes in a row. Tell me that Kevin Harvick is not more proud to put together a good one after 3 bad finishes.
Hey, I'm not one to bet against Kevin Harvick often, so I don't feel good about it.
Yeah. And listen, for Byron's sake, I mean, obviously we know Hendrick is freaking studs, but he and Byron has had 4 top 10s, 5 top 10s, 6 top 10s in the last 7 races here. So, this is going to be a battle at the top. This won't be one where you're watching this.
But, and again, I mean, Byron has a problem, gets caught up in a wreck, pit crew issues, speeding penalties, any number of things could easily take him out of this. Kevin Harvick just cruises to a 10th place victory like you expect him to do. He could easily win this. So it's not, I mean, I think it will be a battle, but it's obviously none of these are guaranteed either way.
That is true. All right. This next one, listen, this next one should not even exist. Honestly, this next one should not exist. And so
that is the wonderful part of playoffs. Imagine Division I football finally figuring out that playoffs are good.
Right? Joey Logano and Todd Gilliland were matched in the first round. Well, Todd Gilliland advanced.
I'd like to say I did call that upset. I had that one correct.
Yes, you did. He is taking on Tyler Reddick, who beat AJ Allmendinger in his bracket challenge. So
this is my one segment of the bracket that's still entirely perfect.
Well, goody for you.
The rest of them all have X's through them and all these other sections. But
I only missed Eric Jones and Joey Logano in this one, so it wasn't that bad on this side. But so for Tyler Reddick, Todd Gilliland, Don't even insult me. This is going to be Tyler.
This is Reddick. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it all week. The 2311 cars won both these races. The 45 car specifically won both these races. He's going to be good. The only way this happens is if Reddick gets caught up in a wreck. I don't see any other scenario here. So yeah, this is easily Tyler Reddick for both of us, I think.
Act of God, whatever it is, that's all there is to it. So.
Yeah.
All right. That is that
one. Gilly pulled the upset for me last week. Appreciate it. Thank you. Knocked Joey out early for me. But yeah, this is the end of the line.
This is not gonna.
He's not the Cinderella, I don't think.
No, God. Well.
He wins this one. You're fitting him for that glass. I better bring a glass slipper with just in case.
You put that evil on me, Cody Z. All right. There's another half of the bracket to get to. Let's get to that after another break to say thank you. Those of you out there who are watching on YouTube week in and week out, you are seeing my awesome XFL LA Extreme throwback jersey from the original running of the 2001 XFL. Love me some football, but I love NASCAR as well. And yes, and you're seeing Cody's body armor.
My body armor for Ryan Blaney in his victory this weekend.
Oh, that's right. Look at this guy and is moving on into the next round. But yeah, we've had a lot of fun so far bringing you guys the content on YouTube, and the fact that you guys have been watching it is, well, it's swell. And we just want you to do it some more. And of course, we also want you to like, to subscribe, to ring the bell, to comment, to put it on a doctor's office and leave it on while people wonder why the hell a couple of guys are talking NASCAR while they're trying to sniffle into their Kleenexes. Whatever you do, put it on your grocery store while people are watching Kumquats. I don't know, whatever. Just continue to support the YouTube channel. We love you for it. Of course, if you're an OG listener on the old Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, leave a review and tell us how much you enjoy spending time with us, just like we enjoy spending time with you.
Hey everybody, if you play fantasy football, especially in auction leagues,
or you're a whiskey fan.
Yes, exactly. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast Fantasy Football Channel show, Old Fashioned Football.
Coming to you every Tuesday morning, give us a listen. We'll bring you the latest fantasy football data, including
the injury report,
studs and duds,
waiver wire targets,
and suggested fab.
Market movers. After all, we are the Marks.
He is my hubby.
And she's J Mark's wifey.
And we're bringing all this to you while drinking an old fashioned and giving you our honest review of a different whiskey every week.
All that and more. Hop on over, give us a listen, come for the football, stay for the whiskey.
This ad's almost done.
Going once, going twice.
Sold.
We turn our attention to the other side of this bracket, in which I don't care, Cody. I don't care anymore. Like nothing on this side of the bracket makes me happy. So I feel like we should just end the show. Good night.
I do have more X's on this side. There's so looking at the bracket, I've only got the one X mark on the entire left side. Eric Jones screwed me over. But the right side, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, including one of my finalists, which is not a good start.
This is giving me flashbacks to my freshman year of high school when I didn't go to class at all. And every assignment that I would get back would be full of red X's. So I have PTSD from this side of the bracket. I'm just going to tell you right now, there's nothing good about it. My my Chase Elliott one is busted, like Daniel Suarez, like I said, yep. Larson.
Larson. Luckily, I think that most people are going to have the Larson one, so that's not going to hurt you too bad. Just depending on how far you have him going. That's the key.
Well, I had Larson going, but see, it doesn't matter because I had Bush going to the end of that one. So
yeah, me too.
I had Larson and Bush in the semis.
Yeah. Oof.
Or quarterfinals, rather.
Yeah, next round I'm completely screwed on this side, so that's fun.
Well, we'll see where we go. But let's break down who is going to be in this one. Ross Chastain will be taking on Chase Briscoe. Cody's slam dunk of the bracket for sure. Cody doesn't even think Briscoe's gonna run a lap in this race. So Ross Chastain,
my entire possible generational wealth hedges on Briscoe sucking this weekend. I am
your daughter going
so
to
heavily,
right?
I'm heavily invested on just fading Briscoe in every possible way. I might actually bet Briscoe to win this race just in case, because I'm that invested on fading Briscoe. If you've not listened to the gambling episode, if you've not read my article, fade Chase Briscoe. He is
Look at that.
going to suck this weekend.
Cody, I got to tell you, it won't take much to recoup, obviously. But you now you have to sprinkle something on Chase Briscoe because you have to.
I know. What is
You've
Briscoe's
done
odds?
this, you put this up into the ether, and you've made this like something that you have to hedge on now. 'Cause
Yeah.
if you don't,
He should be like 200 to 1 because I expect him to be that bad, but I'm guessing he's going to be around like 30 to 1.
Yeah, you're probably
See if I can get this to load, I'll tell you here in a minute. But
well,
anyways, yes, Ross Chastain versus Chase Briscoe. This is not even close. Chase Briscoe or Ross Chastain could be out there on one tire. He'd probably still beat Chase Briscoe on speed. Luckily for Chase Briscoe, no BJ McLeod to embarrass him this weekend. So we'll have to leave that up to Brennan Poole instead.
Briscoe's 80 to 1, by the way.
80 to 1. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, he should be a lot longer odds than that. But I guess I'll grab some of that, just hedge my massive fortune that's faded against him.
Cody's going to show his ticket.
I mean, I don't have the massive fortune, but if I did, it would be faded against him.
Well, I agree with you. Chastain, obviously, of the two, there's just no way.
Yeah.
I don't know that
Briscoe got lucky last week. Suarez wrecked early and still only beat him by one spot. So
yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we're talking.
Yeah.
If this was one spot more, Suarez would be taking on.
Yeah.
That'd be two teammates. That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah,
too.
Suarez versus Chastain would actually be. I was just talking to somebody or talking to a couple of the guys in the Discord because they brought up there's a head-to-head on Barry and Suarez, and they're like, well, the Barry side, right? And it's like, ooh, Suarez is actually pretty decent on the intermediates. So I still take the Barry side. It's a plus money also, but it's not like Barry versus Briscoe where you just hammer the thing because it's such a sure thing. But it's stupid that Briscoe made it past one round, but he won't make it any farther.
All right. Well, speaking of teammates heading up against each other in this, Denny Hamlin's taking.
This is a matchup right here. Woo!
Yeah, this one's a tough one though. This one, I know what I've already got going, and I'm going to stick with it. And that's Denny Hamlin moving over.
I should probably check what I have. I think I have Denny Hamlin also.
Yeah, I have Hamlin for sure, and I'm not going to stray off of that because I honestly believe that I know, and I picked this obviously before Truex went out and won the race, right? So, but I still feel like I kind of have to take it, even though I feel like Truex is going to be a top 5 car. I've already, called him out as a top 5 car, but Denny could very easily win this race. And I mean, super easily win this race. If he does not get into any trouble. And if he does not.
Honestly, I kind of want to pick Martin Truex here, but Denny may end up making my card this weekend as a winner pick before this is all over because he owns the 2311 team. They had all that speed here. He's sharing that data with his 11 team. He's going to be, I expect Truex to get a top 5 too. So I think this is going to be a battle throughout the day. And Hamlin's crew could make up the difference here because they suck. But if they figure things out, I think that Denny can pull it off. So I think we both go with Denny on this side of things.
Yeah. I mean, look at his last 6 races. His last 6 races, win, 15-12, 5-4-2. Like, I can't.
Creeping his way back up there. So it would ruin my winner pick if he did win, but I wouldn't be mad if he did. So let's put it that way. There you go.
All right. The next matchup is should have been Kyle Larson. And instead it is Austin Dillon versus Ty Gibbs. Yuck.
This is smash Ty Gibbs. I mean, Dillon, it's weird because he was so good at Auto Club and it was like, okay. And then like not good at Vegas, not good at Dover, like really bad at Dover last week. He's just overall been struggling the last couple of weeks. I don't think you can take him. And I mean, we've obviously pronounced our love for Gibbs a lot lately on the betting episode, on the DFS episode. That doesn't slow down. So yeah, this one's not even close for me. This is also Ty Gibbs.
It is Ty Gibbs. I cannot believe that I took Ricky Stenhouse over Ty Gibbs. I researched myself into that, and that was dumb.
I mean, Stenhouse had gotten a second place last year at Dover, so you can't blame yourself too much.
Oh, I can, and I will.
Yeah, I picked Ty Gibbs, so you were wrong for sure.
All right. Well, the next one is Brad Keselowski, who beat Bubba Wallace in the last round over Ryan Preece, who beat
Ryan
Kyle
Preece
Busch.
beat Kyle Busch. What? I'm throwing this bracket out. I'll put it in the shredder right now.
Yeah, you might as well. This is why I want to
How
start
ridiculous.
this week. We need to start the bracket this week, Cody.
Yeah.
Let's re-rack it.
We talked
Oh, we
about we talked about Brad yesterday on the DFS show. Love him this weekend, and Priest is in an SHR car, so easy decision for me here. Brad Keselowski.
Yep, Brad Keselowski for me as well.
Oof, we're all the same on the right side of this, so it's a good thing we disagreed a couple times on the left side because we'll see.
The right side kind of laid itself out. Like I can't.
Well, and that's the upsets more, I guess, happen on this side. So you got some of the more underdogs that you don't really see advancing. So
until they do this next.
Until they do, yeah. I mean, yeah, your glass slipper at this point, Todd Gilliland. I mean, really, everybody else is. Yeah, everybody else, you kind of can't be too surprised they made it this far. I mean, if Briscoe were to advance to the next round, that would be pretty shocking. Austin Dillon, it would be a little bit shocking, but not really because he's going up against a rookie. The Priest Brad Keselowski thing, I mean, again, it would be shocking for Priest to win it, but it's not impossible. So yeah, I mean, Gilliland is kind of the one true Cinderella story that's still alive in this thing.
Yes, indeed. All right. So listen, how do you turn this into actionable advice for you? All of these names that we talked about, right? All of these guys that are moving in through this bracket, we've talked about basically the entire field that's kind of left and who we think are going to do. Find bets that you like. We've talked about guys. I mean, glean the information. We talked about guys top 10s, right? We talked about guys we like for top 5s, guys that can win. Take all of what we just said to you, talking about all these drivers, and formulate the opinions on how you want to bet. Attack the books with what we just talked about, because really, again, you don't come to this show for the picks. I honestly believe, and people have told me time and time again that they like our picks, but they also like the fact that we talk through the process and give you guys what information you need to make your own decisions, which is by far more powerful, in my opinion, than any pick I can give you. Because if I'm telling you a pick, you're going to do it, and then you either win or you lose, right? But if I tell you a pick and Cody and I talk through it and you're like, well, that doesn't necessarily make sense to me, I'm going to go against it. Well, that's what you've done. You've given yourself the power of thought, and that's all we're ever trying to do in this show. And, for those of you who have stuck around long enough to get that idea, we appreciate it and we thank you for that. So that's how you take everything we just talked about and put it into action.
Yeah, you nailed it. And I mean, we see it play out on the Discord all the time. We understand, like, different people. There's different people in different countries, people in different states. Everybody has different options. Not everybody has all the options we can see or that we have. And so everything is different. And so that's, again, yes, we're just trying to teach you, and you can use these things to, okay, they think that Brad Keselowski is going to have a pretty good day. They don't think Ryan Preece is going to have a good day. Maybe they're not matched up, but maybe you end up seeing Chris Buescher, who we said should have a good day, against Ryan Preece, and then you can put those guys to get, you just have to take it overall, put it in play. So yeah, I think you laid that out perfectly.
Yeah, like you see a Corey LaJoie over versus AJ Allmendinger over there on Barstool, and Corey LaJoie's plus 125. AJ Allmendinger's
that dropped. It was plus 144 when I gave it out on Tuesday.
You see what I'm saying? So you got to smash.
We're moving lines over here.
We are moving lines. All right. Well, speaking of moving lines, I feel like we should give out some bonus bets, Cody. We've never done this before.
Oh, we haven't, but I'm excited.
Yeah, let's give out some bonus bets. I've got a couple that I've got my eye on. I know you do too. So
yes,
always, give the floor to you. Let's start it out. What do you got?
Yeah, well, it's nice because, I mean, we do our show on Tuesday, and obviously we build a pretty nice card, and there's a lot of options, but there's more things that come out throughout the weekend. You start looking into things a little more. We listen to some of our friends and get influenced by them. Shout out to all of you guys. You know who you are. But, yeah, so for me, poll bets, which were not out when we did the show Tuesday, I'm going to take Tyler Reddick at plus 650 and Kyle Busch at plus 1,200 over on Barstool Sports. Looking back at last year, Tyler Reddick was fastest in the spring, second fastest in the fall. So my logic here is Tyler Reddick fast, and now he's in the 45 car, which won both races. So take him. And Kyle Busch is in that 8 car. So the crew chief still has that setup. Kyle Busch can get speed out of the cars. These are my two guys I'm going with. Plus 650 for Reddick, plus 1,200 for Kyle Busch to sit on the pole in Kansas.
I love it. I'm going to kind of keep going down that road as far as 2311. I found 2311. Now, this is what I found very interesting, and this is why I'm suggesting this, because when you look at the team race, the team of race winner on Barstool, you get Hendrick Motorsports at plus 225. I suppose no surprise there. Joe Gibbs at plus 230. Then all of a sudden you get 2311 at plus 450. What? They literally just swept both Kansas races this last year. So again, this is a way for you to be able to get Reddick and Wallace at the same time at plus 450. Either one of those can cash and win this for you. So I'm not, again, this is one of those things where you're kind of taking a little bit of a stab at it, because it's kind of hard to win 3 races in a row as the same team of the same kind. And in fact, I was listening today, and it hasn't been done before. So that's something that is an accomplishment that can happen. But I mean, it's Tyler Reddick. You just talked about how fast he was here last time. I'm not necessarily going to count him out. And then Bubba Wallace, who has been slowly inching his way to where he can have a good finish and quite possibly win like he did last year. I mean, that 45 car sat in victory lane both races. 45 cars driven by Reddick this time. So, I have a feeling that, but like I said, more than anything, the plus 450 of aspect of this, especially for the winning team, is what stood out to me the most, because there's like a 200-point drop off between Gibbs and 2311. And I know that Hendrick Motorsports is fantastic everywhere they go, right? They're the best team in the garage for a reason, but they haven't been winning as much lately as this odds should suggest. And then Gibbs is the same way. Now, granted, we think Hamlin's going to have a good day. We think Truex is going to have a good day. But for 450 to take a stab at Tyler Reddick or Bubba Wallace winning this race, I know you could bet on them individually. That's fine, but you get 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah, no, I like it. I mean, we talked all week about how good we expect 2311 to continue to be this weekend. So yeah, no argument from me here. I got another one, Rod. This one's over on FanDuel. Starting position of the race winner, 1 through 10, is minus 135. 6 races in a row, the winner has started 1st through 10th, and in 7 of the last 8. So I think that's enough for me to go back and say, okay, usually the winner's going to show speed in qualifying. They're going to start up front, and it gives you a quarter of the field, and in theory, the best quarter of more than a quarter of the field, because there's not even 40 entries. It's only 36. So more than a quarter of the field ain't the best quarter of it. And you're getting that minus 135, not really paying up that much for it. And it's happened 6 times in a row, 7 of the last 8. So starting position of the race winner, minus 135. That one's over on FanDuel.
I love that a lot. All right. I found okay, here we go. This is one where we kind of cross paths, right, between the F1 Gambling Podcast and the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. We did that a little earlier, right, with the Chase Elliott and the Max Verstappen to win. This one kind of hybrids into something we've been talking about anyways, where this week the F1 is going to be in Miami, and they are going to be in the United States. The United States driver for that is Logan Sargent from Fort Lauderdale, not too far away from where he's going to be racing in the F1, right? Caesars has a kick-ass boost for Logan Sargent as a points finisher and a top 10 finish for Ross Chastain at plus 983. If you listened to our show, the F1 Gambling Podcast, I spoke highly of Logan Sargent, thinking that he was going to do well on his home track. So a points finish in F1 is a top 10 finish. So if both of these guys get a top 10 finish, which Ross Chastain is almost assured a top 10 finish this week. We've loved him. We think he's fast. He's probably going to get up there in the top 10. So that's going to cash one leg of it, right? And for Logan Sargent, it's a tall enough task that this boost is definitely, worth the money to put down. But at 9, almost 10 to 1, right, for Logan Sargent to find a top 10 finish on his home track, essentially. Like I said, it's going to be a tough task for him, but I just feel like this is a good enough boost to try to cross promote and go after it for both of these guys to have the top 10 finish on Sunday.
Oh yeah, I love it. And this, I mean, similar to the Max and Chase thing, this is on one side, your Ross Chastain is going to be a top 10 car. It's almost with certainty right now. An accident could happen. There's penalties. Again, it's not, nothing is guaranteed in racing. I get that. But I mean, his odds for a top 10 have to be minus a lot. I'll look that up here quickly. But so you're getting a guy that's very assured of almost, getting that top 10. And yeah, he is at minus 150. He's only minus 150 for a top 10. Damn, give me some of that too. Jeez, I like that. But anyways, he should have a top 10 car, right? And then that gives you Sargent then at the +9 part of it, where all he has to do is finish in the top 10. There's only 20 cars in F1, so that's helpful to him, right? He just has to get up in that top 10. So you're getting a big number on him to just do that when one side of it is the much, juicier side where it's more of a thing that you really expect to happen.
Yep.
So yeah, I really like that a lot.
Although, wait, Cody, I want to ask you your opinion on this one. Plus 2704. Will Kyle Busch double dip and win both the Heart of America 200 and the Advent Health 400?
Yes.
We talked about how Kyle Busch is a lot.
2704.
2704 over on Caesar.
Kyle Busch. It's like a 5-unit play for him to win the Truck Series race. So that is a guarantee for me. Then you're getting him at 27-1 to win on Sunday. Fuck yes, I am writing that down. I'm so glad I'm going to be in a betting state this weekend, Rod. Yes, it's going to be, and I get the whole all day Saturday, all day Sunday. I can place as many bets as I want to without restrictions. Man, if only Nebraska could catch up to the rest of the states someday.
Let's go California. I'm waiting for that as well. All right, do you have anything else? Got another one you want to?
Hold on, I'm writing this one down. I don't want to miss out on it.
Cody's
AFB, baby. All right, love it. Yep, I got one more for you. Also over on FanDuel. Group number 3. This is Chris Buescher, Eric Jones, Eric Almirola, Ryan Preece. This one is easy for me. Chris Buescher plus 260. Eric Jones, we talked about it, right? He had an okay run last week at Dover, but overall they've lacked speed. Now the whole switching from Chevy to Toyota thing, that's going to be out there. That's going to, I think, start to, it's not just going to be, Chevy's not just shutting the hose off on them, but doors are going to start to close. Information's going to slow down. I think we'll start to see that effect. Plus, they've just been slow. Eric Almirola, Ryan Preece, who did they race for, Rod?
Rick Ware. No, I'm just kidding. It's anytime
actually that might be a bonus for them if that was the case.
No, that's what's anytime you say something like that, I'm always like Rick Ware. That's our standard answer. No, SHR.
Yes, so I rest my case. Chris Buescher plus 260 to win this group. I really, really like this one. I have no faith in Almirola. I have no faith in Preece. Almirola, him and this track don't get along. He broke his back here a few years ago, and he's not ever had really good runs here. Preece, again, the SHR speed has not been there, and Jones, the legacy speed hasn't been there either. I expect Buescher to be a top 10, top 13 car, and I don't think any of these guys sniff that. So, this one I really like as well.
I just heard like everybody turn off their collective thing. Like, Rick Ware, what the hell? This guy knows nothing of NASCAR. Rod doesn't know NASCAR at all.
Yeah, so. If they were in Rick Ware, they'd have a better chance of beating Chase Briscoe. So.
Damn. All right. Well, hey, man, that was fun. I liked giving out those bets.
Rod wanted to keep this episode around 30 minutes. So you
absolutely.
You can see how that went.
It went fantastic. I think we're right there, right? 30 minutes?
Yeah, plus a few.
Feels like
give or
minutes.
take a couple. It's all good.
Cody,
once we get going, it never works out to keep these short. We did keep the truck episode pretty short this week, which was kind of surprising. I think it was later at night, so that might have been helpful. But hey, we like to talk, and it's so much fun.
But see, we're both podcast listeners, and so we know that when two folks get in a flow, like it is hard to walk away. There's been times where I've sat in my car like an extra 15 minutes because I don't want to stop listening to a certain podcast.
I did that today with Old Fashioned Football for Justin and Miranda. I got somewhere, pulled up somewhere, and there was like 5 minutes left, and I was like, just gonna sit here, finish this, and then I'll go inside because I wasn't pausing it with 5 minutes to go.
No, that's what I'm saying. I fall into that too. So I hope for those of you who listen out there that's the same type of feeling that you walk away from with this show as well, because once again, these episodes that we do like this is a lot of fun. We very rarely get to do them where it's sort of free form. We always want to make sure that we respect your time and give you everything that you need to do before you got to go place your bets. But this was a lot of fun. So thanks for bringing this one to our attention there, Cody.
Yeah, I like these little free for all Fridays that we get every once in a while. Of course, I want all 3 series to be in action, but when they're not, these episodes are fun to do too.
They most certainly are. All right, well then let's let everybody out of their car. You guys can go now. You guys can go on with your day. We're gonna end the episode so you don't have to sit in your car and have your significant other wonder why is that person been home for 10 minutes and still sitting in there?
Still sitting in the garage. It's okay.
Still sitting in
Leave
the
a
garage.
quick rating and review, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. But then you can go inside.
Yeah. All right, Cody. Well, let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
Yep. Follow me on Twitter at Husker_Zeeb. Follow at NASCAR Gambling on Twitter as well. I will be on both those accounts this weekend, posting a lot of fun stuff. I'll be flooding the timeline with pictures, videos, all the fun stuff from Kansas. So definitely follow us over there and check all that out.
Cody will be rubbing it in my face that he is there. That's all right. When Sonoma comes around again, I'll be able to do that for you as well.
You will. Yes.
And I will just take pictures of me drinking wine with Michael Jordan. That's fine. All right. Follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez, where there will be no pictures of me and Michael Jordan sipping wine, but there'll be pictures of me crying that I'm not at the track with Cody. Again, follow. There's a link in the bio, everything I got going on, whether it's here, whether it's in between media. Go check out the back road. Rory Picks joined Seth and Elliott for this Kansas race. That's a lot of fun. These guys are already loving it. But yeah, check that out. We'll be back next week to break down Kansas and hear all about Cody's adventures. So until then, enjoy your weekend. Let's go racing and let it ride.